You're eating this? Common food that's fueling your cancer. You've been lied to. And you probably didn't even see it coming. Imagine finding out that the same food sitting in your pantry right now is quietly throwing gasoline on the fire of your cancer risk. Shocking? Absolutely. But that's exactly what happens when no one ever tells you that glucose and cancer are like partners in crime, feeding off your everyday habits. The worst part? The experts we trust rarely mention that the real battle isn't just about genes. It's about mitochondrial health and how your daily cancer and diet choices flip the switch on cancer metabolism. You've been told to look at DNA when the real story lies in your energy factories, the mitochondria you damage every time you choose convenience over care. But here's the good news. You don't need a lab coat to outsmart the Warburg Effect or put metabolic therapy to work. Once you see how simple food swaps can starve cancer cells and protect your body from the inside out, you'll wonder why nobody told you sooner. Ready to break free from half-truths and take back control? Let's crack this wide open together. It's wild to think that every single day, 1,600 families lose someone they love to cancer. That's not just a number on paper, that's a neighborhood, a small town, wiped out every year. And yet, here we are, putting all our faith in modern experts who keep telling us they've got cancer prevention under control. If they really did, would we see the numbers skyrocketing like this? Maybe it's time to peek behind the curtain. You see, when most folks hear about cancer, they instantly think genetics, bad luck, family history, you know the drill. But if that were the whole story, wouldn't our fancy labs have cracked the code by now? The truth is, even people with so-called perfect genes aren't safe if their mitochondrial health is under constant attack. It's like having a Ferrari engine but pouring sugar in the gas tank. Speaking of sugar, you'll see how glucose and cancer are best friends in disguise. What's really shocking is how few people know about the Warburg Effect, or the work of brilliant minds like Thomas Seyfried cancer research. They're not just buzzwords, they're the breadcrumbs to understanding cancer metabolism and how to truly starve cancer cells before they wreak havoc. But hang tight, because you're about to discover how one radical idea flips the whole cancer and diet conversation upside down. Now imagine this. What if everything you thought you knew about cancer was just half the truth? That's exactly what Dr. Thomas Seyfried cancer research is shaking up. He's not afraid to challenge the big dogs of mainstream medicine, arguing that cancer prevention starts way deeper than gene mutations. For him, it all boils down to a hidden, villain-broken mitochondrial health. Kinda makes you wonder who's really running the show inside your cells, right? When Thomas Seyfried dusted off the old Warburg Effect theory, it was like finding a treasure map hidden under the floorboards. He believes the key to metabolic therapy isn't patching up DNA. It's repairing your energy factories before they collapse. It's wild how this flips the script. Cancer metabolism is not some monster you're powerless against. It's a puzzle you can solve by knowing what feeds and starves those misbehaving cells. So, instead of waiting for some miracle drug, you've got tools right at your fingertips. It's all about using strategies that naturally starve cancer cells of their favorite treats, mainly glucose and cancer's other secret fuel, glutamine. That means your daily cancer and diet choices matter way more than you think. But hey, understanding how cancer actually starts makes this all click into place. And that's exactly what we'll unpack next. Alright, so here's where it gets eye-opening. Cancer doesn't just pop up overnight because of some rogue gene. Nope. It begins when your precious mitochondria start throwing in the towel. When your mitochondrial health goes downhill, your cells can't make clean energy the normal way. That's when they switch gears, flipping into this messy fermentation mode, which, thanks to the Warburg Effect, we now know feeds cancer metabolism like crazy. Think about it like this. A healthy cell is like a disciplined worker at a bakery, turning flour into beautiful bread every day. But when energy production breaks down, that worker starts burning through sugar in the back room, making a sticky mess instead of bread. That's where glucose and cancer get all chummy. Your body's sugar stash becomes a buffet for misbehaving cells. And if you never fix it, hello tumors. The wild part is that you have more control than you realize. When you understand how this glitch in the system starts, you see why metabolic therapy is such a game-changer for cancer prevention. Small daily tweaks in your cancer and diet choices can tip the scale back in your favor. So what keeps these tiny power plants running smoothly? Well, that's where the mighty mitochondria come in, and it's time to meet them face to face. If you've never given your mitochondria a standing ovation, now's the time. They're basically your life's backstage crew. These tiny powerhouses handle the heavy lifting when it comes to energy, keeping your cells humming along. When they're healthy, cancer prevention becomes almost second nature. But when they're under attack, cancer metabolism sneaks in, opening the door for glucose and cancer to get cozy. Crazy how your whole well-being hinges on these microscopic engines, huh? Picture this, each mitochondrion is like a tiny battery inside every cell. When fully charged, you're energetic, your immune system is fierce, and metabolic therapy works better than any quick fix. But when these batteries go flat, your body scrambles for plan B. And that plan is fermentation, which the Warburg Effect makes infamous. If Thomas Seyfried cancer studies teach us anything, it's this: cherish your mitochondria like gold. So how do you treat these energy factories like royalty? It starts with simple, real-life choices. Moving your body daily, sleeping like a champ, and swapping that bag of chips for healthy fats. Even small shifts in your cancer and diet routine can keep those batteries topped up. And believe me, once you see what really damages them, you'll never look at your lifestyle the same way again. Alright, now let's pull back the curtain on the usual suspects messing with your mitochondrial health. Think chemical carcinogens, nasty viruses, radiation, and that silent culprit we call stress. Yep, the modern world's biggest prank. Thomas Seyfried cancer research makes it crystal clear. It's not just bad luck, it's how our environment chips away at those tiny powerhouses. And when they're down, cancer metabolism comes knocking, fueled by the Warburg Effect. But here's the kicker. Sometimes the real damage is served up on a plate. That daily sugar bomb you call breakfast, it's like rolling out a red carpet for glucose and cancer to hold hands. The more processed carbs and empty calories you pile on, the faster your mitochondria wave the white flag. The solution? Metabolic therapy that tackles root causes, not just symptoms, and a cancer and diet combo that nourishes instead of sabotages. Real talk. You don't need to be a saint, just get a little smarter. Swap out that sugar-laden cereal for pasture-raised eggs and avocado toast. Trade hours of couch potato mode for a brisk walk in the park. These small tweaks protect your mitochondrial health like a fortress. And when you learn exactly what fuels cancer cells to thrive, you'll see why every bite matters more than you ever imagined. So, let's spill the tea. Cancer cells are picky eaters, but once they find what they love, they binge like there's no tomorrow. Glucose and cancer are practically besties. Sugar acts like rocket fuel for cancer metabolism. And don't forget glutamine, the other snack cancer cells crave. That's why Thomas Seyfried Cancer Insights remind us, if you really want true cancer prevention, you've got to know what's on your plate. Picture this like a neighborhood block party gone wrong. Healthy cells chill with wholesome snacks, but cancer cells crash the party with a sweet tooth and zero manners. Every donut, every soda, yep, you're feeding the enemy. But here's the good news. Metabolic therapy is like closing the buffet early. By cutting the main supply, you can starve cancer cells before they multiply like rabbits. It's not about never enjoying life, it's about smart swaps that starve the villains and nourish the good guys. Think switching to low glycemic fruits, upping your healthy fats, and exploring a ketogenic diet cancer strategy. That's how you flip the Warburg Effect on its head. But how do you turn these ideas into daily habits? That's where practical strategies come into play. Alright, now comes the part that puts you back in the driver's seat. Practical moves you can make today. Thomas Seyfried, cancer research proves that you don't need a lab coat to tackle cancer prevention. One smart step, embrace a ketogenic diet cancer style. Think healthy fats like olive oil and avocados with carbs playing second fiddle. This flips cancer metabolism on its head by starving the Warburg Effect of its sugar fix. You'd be amazed at how well your body can adapt when you let metabolic therapy work its magic. Ever tried intermittent fasting? It's like, well, giving your mitochondria a spa day. They finally get a break from the glucose roller coaster. Even trimming your calories just a bit can help starve cancer cells without you feeling deprived. Imagine swapping that muffin breakfast for eggs and veggies. Tiny habit, huge impact on mitochondrial health. And hey, you don't have to be perfect to win this game. Start by cutting processed snacks, move your body, and keep an eye on your glucose and cancer relationship. Build a cancer and diet plan that feels sustainable, not punishing. It's not about restriction, it's about liberation. Protecting your cells so they work for you, not against you. Which brings us to the foods our ancestors swore by. Now think about this. Our ancestors didn't have fancy metabolic therapy plans or a Thomas Seyfried cancer lecture on YouTube. They had instinct and whole foods. They lived off what nature gave them: wild fish, pasture-raised meats, and carbs so low that their bodies stayed in a mild ketogenic diet cancer mode without even trying. This natural cancer prevention was just part of their daily grind, and you can borrow that wisdom today. Want an easy way to protect your mitochondrial health? Just fill your plate with low-glycemic veggies, healthy fats, and, maybe a splash of nuts or seeds. Think walnuts instead of candy bars, leafy greens instead of fries. You're basically telling cancer metabolism, hey buddy, you're not welcome here. The Warburg Effect really loses its power when you keep glucose and cancer fuel in check. Ever wonder why some indigenous tribes have cancer rates so low they're practically unheard of? Well, it's not magic, it's lifestyle. They move more, stress less, and keep their diets clean. You don't need to live in the jungle, but you can totally add a dash of their habits into your cancer and diet routine. And the best part? Protecting your mitochondria this way does way more than block cancer. It actually sets the stage for a metabolism that shields you from other chronic nasties too. Here's the golden truth. When your metabolism hums like a well-tuned engine, cancer prevention becomes your daily reality, not just a wish. Healthy mitochondria mean you're not giving cancer metabolism the easy fuel it craves. Thomas Seyfried cancer studies show that robust mitochondrial health does more than block tumors. It shields you from a lineup of modern plagues. Just imagine lowering your risk for Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease, simply by keeping those tiny powerhouses happy. It's kinda wild, right? One simple shift in your cancer and diet approach can spark a chain reaction across your whole body. Ever met someone in their 70s who still runs marathons or gardens all day? Bet they're not living on donuts and soda. They're living proof that metabolic therapy isn't just for fighting cancer. It's a lifestyle that keeps you sharper, stronger, and more resilient, year after year. So, the next time you're tempted by that sugar bomb dessert, picture your mitochondria putting up a do not disturb sign. Protect them and they'll protect you. From glucose and cancer's cozy relationship, from the Warburg Effect going haywire, and from unnecessary suffering down the road. And once you see that genetic mutations are more like the smoke, not the fire, you'll be ready for the final piece of this puzzle. Let's be real. For decades we were told that faulty genes were the big bad wolf. But Thomas Seyfried cancer research flips that script right on its head. Genetic mutations? They're not the main villain. They're more like a side effect when mitochondrial health goes up in smoke. When you truly get this, cancer prevention stops feeling impossible and starts looking like a strategy you can actually master step by step. Think about how powerful that is. Instead of chasing DNA fixes, you're strengthening your cellular engine room with metabolic therapy. It's like patching a leaky roof instead of mopping the floor every time it rains. By targeting cancer metabolism at its roots, you keep the Warburg Effect from turning glucose and cancer into partners in crime. Your daily cancer and diet choices are the real gene therapy no one talks about. So what if millions embraced this shift tomorrow? Imagine Starve Cancer Cells campaigns becoming as normal as recycling plastic bottles. Small daily actions, smart food swaps, intermittent fasting, all giving your mitochondria the VIP treatment they deserve. Because when you see how this new paradigm cuts death rates and rewrites your future, you'll never look at your plate, or your life, the same way again. So, after all this, let me ask you, are you really gonna let your mitochondria beg for mercy while glucose and cancer keep throwing their secret party inside you? Or are you ready to flip the script, protect your mitochondrial health, and use metabolic therapy like the hidden weapon it is? Every bite, every habit, every step you take can help starve cancer cells before they ever get a chance to take over. What's stopping you from making that first smart switch today? Maybe it's ditching that sugary cereal for a ketogenic diet cancer breakfast. Or finally testing out a bit of fasting to watch your cancer metabolism calm down. If our ancestors could keep the Warburg Effect in check without knowing its name, imagine what you can do now that you know exactly how cancer and diet work together. If this opened your eyes even a little, do yourself, and your mitochondria, a favor: smash that subscribe button on the Thrive Track channel, turn on notifications, and stick around. We've got way more life-saving, myth-busting insights to help you stay 2 steps ahead of chronic disease. Ready to protect what really fuels you? Let's thrive together. You've got this.